Later that night, the breakdown train arrived to tidy the mess, and the engine who brought the crane was one of Greyhound's brothers. Mr. Reese spoke sternly to Greyhound. Satisfied, are we? When you said you weren't going anywhere, well, you ended up out here, and ever since Burke arrived in Portsmouth, you have been nothing more than a vile, ill-mannered bully, treating our guest and your fellow engines like scrap. I don't want you back in Portsmouth again. From now on, Arthur and Hannah will be in charge of the Imperial Airways, while you will be shunting trucks in Dover. You're a disgrace to the T9 class. But sir, I'm sorry. You're sorry? That's not going to get you out of trouble this time, Greyhound. Get out of Portsmouth, you traitor! See, Greyhound, everyone wants you gone, including myself. And by the way, it's Great Marshal, not Great Mushroom. Later that night, after Greyhound was exiled and taken away from Portsmouth, Mr. Reese tipped his hat to us and went home. We were chatting to each other until the temperature dropped and we heard an engine's whistle coming from outside the roundhouse. You've decided to come and join us, Marshal. And so the ghost of Marshal came into the roundhouse and onto the turntable. It's such an honour to meet you properly, Marshal, now that I know who you are. You're a legend around here. Thank you, Burke, and thank you for naming the new express service after me. You have helped so many engines that I felt like you deserve it, and hopefully people will stop saying mean things about you. It's so lovely to see you all together. Hannah, Stepney, Arthur, and you, Burke. You were a great friend, Marshal. I wish that you were still alive and sitting with us. But Hannah, think, if you didn't break down and took the train that night instead of me, then I would still be here and not you. You have come a long way since 1900, and I am very proud of you. What happened with Greyhound moving all by himself? I take it that it was all you? That's right, Burke. I thought that all his insults were going too far, and it was time to put him in his place and give him a fright. And you could do things that you couldn't do when you were alive. Yes, I can, such as operate this turntable and see into the future. Do you think you can give us a little demonstration? Tomorrow the sun shall rise, the sun shall set, and all will be well. At that moment, Marshall closed his eyes, but the engines knew what he was doing. He's going to predict something. What do you see? I see planes, but they are from Germany, and they're blown up houses. What? Families across the country are being torn apart. Children split up from their parents forever. 2 countries will be at war. There's another war coming. Fire, explosions, and darkness will dominate Europe. But there is more. At the center of it all, there is a man commanding the Germans. Who is this man, Marshal? I can't say, but I know that he's evil, and no, keep back, keep away from us, you evil man. Who is he, Marshal? Who do you see? No, I can't say, he's too evil to describe. But then there will be a night when one of you will one of you will perish. And so he vanished just like that. We were all in shock. and didn't say anything to each other. We just looked at each other. There was a long silence. Eventually, Hannah broke the silence and said, "Good night." No one replied. Oh, no, no, no! I wanted those trucks inside an A, not side an B! All these bloody sidings look the same to me. Stupid fat storm train! Who doesn't know which side is which? Ah, what a joke! Trucks are waiting in the yard, tackling with easel. Shows the world what I can do. Getting past the greyhound. In and out he creeps about like a big fat bulldog. When he brings the wrong trucks in, pop goes the greyhound. Make them stop, please. No, greyhound, their singing is very entertaining. And besides, you deserve it for being so rude to all the engines. And thus, Greyhound was doomed to shunt trucks until he was withdrawn from service and scrapped on the 19th of June 1955. I think it served him right. It did, and we never saw him again. Shortly after Greyhound left, Arthur and Hannah took over the Imperial Airways, and they were the preferred engines of the train rather than Greyhound, while Stepney and I did our duties. It was a golden age without Greyhound. However, we never forgot Marshall's predictions, and in the September of 1939, Britain was at war with Germany. Everything that Marshall said would happen came true, and we were all painted black. New engines were built, and you could tell that they were built for war. Marshall said that one of us would perish, and the scary part was that none of us knew who would be the one to bite the dust. That was until one horrible night when it was Arthur's turn to take the Imperial Airways. Arthur had taken the first night train and was getting filled up in Brighton. Men had gone off to fight, so women had taken the roles of men. We didn't mind, of course. There was a war going on, so we made no complaints. At first, everything was well with Arthur. The points changed and he reversed to the station. Then, before he knew it, he hit a bump that had grown in a set of points and derailed. Oh, this is just perfect. Derailed right outside of the station. How can things get worse? Oh, that doesn't sound good. And it wasn't. Arthur had derailed at the time when an air raid was approaching. You're gonna make it. This is too scary, Burke. What are you doing? Oh, that's not good. The Big Four have nationalised into one. I could go home.